What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. And today's video topic is going to be about what is it like to be a 21-year-old barber. So let me start the premise with this. I thought about this way back when I was 18 because technically I started cutting hair when I was about 18 years old. Technically, in the sense that I cut way before that, but it was trials and tribulations before anything else. One of the reasons why I didn't do it back then was because I wasn't that experienced. So, and I felt like I was always, and this is one thing that us as barbers, young barbers especially, we got to work on. I was doubting myself a lot as a young kid because I wasn't, next to my peers, I wasn't really on the same scale and in the same trajectory. And one thing that I didn't understand back then that I think I understand today is going to be the fact that when we start out young, we started out young. There's still a lot of things that we don't even know. We don't have the chance to remember. We don't have because all of us were born probably around, if you're about 21, you were born after 2001. After 2000, we don't remember good brands like Proraso, I think it's a brand, Proraso, Clubman. We don't remember a lot of those. We remember that was nostalgic, but we don't remember that is a good product. So there's certain things that we didn't know about products that we weren't very, good at. And then you have the opportunity to cut in barbershops that are very different compared to back in the day as well. So you're coming into the field where everything is on hyperdrive, and yes, you're gonna feel a little bit overwhelmed and you're gonna feel like you're not enough. But think about it, you just came into the game as a young cat who was born in the 2000s and are comparing yourself probably to guys that have been in the field for 10 years. And even if they haven't been in the field for 10 years, they're 30 and up, they're gonna be 35, 40. They remember what it is to go to the barbershop back in the day. They remember more better things about the game than you probably do. Like when I came into the game, and this is real for me, I didn't really know a whole lot about products. I knew about clippers, not really clipper brands. I know there was Wall and I know there was Andis, but I really didn't have anything else other than those two topics. And I was basically it. I didn't know brands like Johnny B, Elegance. I didn't, and this is not that far ago. Like I started cutting hair about 2016, 17, started paying attention to the industry. Technically started cutting hair around 2019, but I didn't know any of those products. I didn't know products like Suavecito. I didn't use that on my hair. Cantoon. Some people use Cantoon and there was just, I don't like it anymore, but yeah. But there's so many other products that we don't know about, and when we come onto the field, we feel kind of scared because we are way behind of the next generation. But think about it this way. There's always new products coming out. There's always new styles coming out. So you can get better in that field. Now, separating that from the topic right now, if we want to talk about cutting styles, y'all got to remember that when we come out of school, sometimes we don't really get taught enough. And you shouldn't feel bad about that, realistically, because everybody starts off like that. It doesn't matter if you started back in the day. It doesn't matter if you started today. Most likely, you came out of school a little bit unprepared. Even though you passed the test, even though you went to school for the hours that you needed to go, even though you had a great instructor, when you come to the real world, it's always tough to deal with the customer. Not because customers aren't right or they're, being difficult. It's just the fact that everybody has different things going on in their, I guess, bio. I don't know how you would say that, but like their body. Everybody has something different going on in their body. That being said, you might have somebody who would have straight wavy hair, but he has 3 cowlicks. They don't really teach you that in school, how to deal with that scenario. Or you have somebody with very, very coarse hair, but has very thin lines, and he does not want you to push him back. Essentially. All those things are very difficult, and you don't know about those things till you come to the field and you have somebody else kind of teach you what they learned in the process, right? And that's one of the difficult things that we have going on today's age with a lot of these new barbers coming into the game, because we're coming extra young, right? I'm 21 years old. I don't want to say that I'm super advanced, because I am not at all. I want to say that I'm still at beginner stage level 3. And let's say there's 10 levels before you can get to a master barber. I would like to say I'm in level 3. I progressed because I really, really love this. I still have a lot of flaws in my game. There's a lot of things that I don't know. Just today, I was making research just about products because I really don't know all about styling hair and stuff like that, even though I went to cosmetology school. I have a lot of other problems that I have in the industry where, you know, I'm a super clean guy. So I'm always looking to be disinfected but time efficient, and I'm always disinfecting stuff. So there's a lot of more things that I'm trying to learn when it comes down to my personal way of doing things, how to be more clean, which, you know, like I'll throw around that can everywhere. Barberside is always on deck with the 4 ounces and you know what I'm saying? I mean, with the 4 cups of water with the right ounces, like all these things I really do, you know, take care of because I think they're very important. And then you have the cutting, and then you have the styling, and then you have, look at all these little things that we've already been talking to. Yes, your game might be lacking right now, but don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about that at all. Because realistically, man, it takes a long time for you to be able to do stuff like that. And that's fair because, you know, the guy that's been cutting for 15 years might tell you that he learned that right out the get-go. But guess what? If you can do a fireball fade, I bet you he probably didn't. And that's not knocking either of y'all, but I'm just saying everybody has a strength and their, you know, their powers that when they come out of school. And you might have your strength and your flaws, and everybody has, but at the end of the day, it's really about walking. It's really about, you know, how would you say it? It's really about keeping a pace, not trying to, you're not really trying to run a marathon, you know what I'm saying? You're trying, there's a pace and there's a long stretch that you're gonna go through in your career, and you're gonna have to pace yourself, but make every step worth it, right? That being said, that's the reason why I said that about me at 18, because at 18 years old, I felt inadequate because I came out of school and I was in school and I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared at all, even though I thought I was. And it took me till 21 to really come out and say, guys, I see a lot of kids coming out and I love it. I love that we're all coming in young. I have clients of me that are going to college and are in their 4th year and they're about to be 22. And I think it's crazy how fast they're going and stuff like that. Like they're about to finish their masters. Kids that are less than 25, really in college, is doing their thing. And then barbers coming out of school at 19 and then coming into the game and they can really, really do a fade. You know, we all have our strengths when we come out, but I see a lot of us now and I'm so happy about it. And I just really wanted to put this video to say, if you're ever scared, my boy, ever scared, sir, listen to me. If you're ever scared, if you ever feel like inadequate, don't worry about it. It's okay. I feel inadequate too. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. Sometimes I feel like the client doesn't think that I'm doing a good job. Sometimes I think I'm not doing a good job. It's fair. Only thing you gotta do is push, learn, ask questions, make sure that you're doing the correct techniques, make sure that at the end of the day you're sanitizing everything how you're supposed to, make sure that at the end of the day you learn how to style, because everything evolves, everything changes. And if you ever want to look for continuing education like I'm hoping to do eventually, that's a good way to go as well. I went to cosmetology because by the time that I was 16 years old, I was a little bit good at, you know, cutting regular haircuts, like a 1 or 2 or 3. So I figured that, you know, by the time that I could come out of school with more practice, I could probably already know how to cut hair. But one thing that I knew that my flaw was cutting with scissors. I was horrible at cutting with scissors. I couldn't even start with the math of doing that thing. So I just decided to go to cosmetology and take that bullet, because I knew that if I went straight into a place where the whole concept of it was around scissors, I would probably be okay, because it would be a whole year about, you know, a whole year of putting myself in that position that probably is uncomfortable, and it was, and it's probably hard, and it was. But at the end of the day, today I can actually sit here and do a pretty decent cut with scissors, even though that I'm not where I want to be, but I'm sure far than where I was with them kitchen scissors that I was cutting my brother's hair with. Sorry, my boy. I'm sorry, brother. My little brother. I killed his hair. That's my first guinea pig. But that's what I really wanted to come out with this video today, because I think realistically, man, I've seen a lot of 22, 23-year-olds, and I love how they cut, and I love their style, and I love how much they get into the game. But all those other ones that feel ashamed of their cuts, they don't want to post no pictures, they don't want to, hey, remember, Instagram is your portfolio, but it's also a time lapse. It also tells you how you're going to be doing later on in life. Will you eventually evolve so much that you're going to want to delete all those pictures? But yeah, don't be ashamed about that, because at the end of the day, that's your progress. That's your beginnings. That's all that, you know, that's all that comes into play. I take pictures with a camera, and it shows all my flaws sometimes. Like, it really does show all of the flaws that I really do leave in a haircut. But it really just gives me motivation when I see a better cut that I did with probably the same person, which is a good way of, you know, kind of mitigating how you're doing really in the industry right now with yourself and the cutting ability you're containing or attaining. But I always feel proud when I see those type of pictures. That's really what I want to get out of this video, is feel proud about yourself. You're doing a great job. This is not really meant to be that much of a motivational video as much as to be like a learn from my mistake of being 18 and being ashamed of not really knowing nothing. You shouldn't be ashamed of not knowing nothing, because realistically, a lot of people when they started did not know nothing. It's what you do with that afterwards. If you're gonna buck up and then say, I gotta learn all these other things that I really don't know, or if you're just gonna mingle around and, you know, go in and out of the industry and, you know, say no to washing hair, say no to cutting with scissors, say no to hairstyle, say no to drop fades, say no to a blurry drop fade, say no to a mullet, to a flurry blowout mullet with locks, and this being flowy, connecting with this but not short enough so it spikes but short enough that it looks like the whole mullet gesture. But then you have the curls and he wants less hair on the middle but he wants more flowing on the sides. If you're gonna say no to those type of things, I'm just saying you're cutting yourself short. Those are learning curves. Even if you think those things that aren't gonna be able to look good, don't worry about it, because your job is to try to make it look good. That's really what it is at the end of the day for us as barbers. A lot of people think that I see a lot of old heads I see that don't do a lot of things that they don't really want to do. Funny enough how I said that sentence, but that's true. A lot of people don't really want to do what needs to be done to finish a good haircut, and I think that's not fair to the customer, because if you can probably, yes, you're gonna probably charge your customer a little bit more, but imagine $5 more for a whole different type of haircut. That will be something that person will probably come back again to get. I sure will. I would, with my type of hairstyle. I got curly hair, I got a beard, I do blowouts. I normally get like a taper, you know, like I got a drop fade. Like, if you give me a good solid haircut, then when I go home and I look in the mirror as a barber, I don't see no lines, even if I see lines, because I don't care about that as much, because I know how my hair works. But if I see like a clean work, hair is put in the right position, shear work used properly to where, like, yeah, it might look a little bit bulky, but that's how I like it, and you made it right to where it looks great. If you put in that time and effort into washing my hair, probably styling my beard, put in a little bit of product in my hair, and you went them out, I'm probably coming back to you, because realistically, as a client and as a barber, I'm gonna appreciate that. But more as a client than a barber, because as a barber, I really don't always wanna do that. But as a client, that's always a joy. Now, that being said, you should look about yourself and say, what type of haircuts and what type of clients do you want? Because if you're not gonna be the type of person that's gonna go all in, to be fair, that's okay. But you're also gonna have to work harder to get that little percentage that you're gonna get out of the population. Because somebody that's gonna be younger, or somebody that's gonna be probably in your same age group, that's gonna be able to attain to everybody that comes into the door, is probably gonna take a lot less than that person who's being very picky with their customers. Sometimes when we come out of the game, we think we have the lavishness of picking and choosing our customers. Sometimes that's not the case. Probably demographically, you might have the opportunity if you're in a place like Los Angeles, if you're in a place like Miami, where there's an abundance of people in the crowd every day walking in and out of the door. Of course, yes. But if you're in a small town, let's say like where I just came from, Panama City, where you really couldn't do that, you really have to put your game and your mindset into the right position so you can really execute the right way and make the client really feel like he should really come back to you. Now, I'm in Orlando right now, and let me tell you, the shows apply here because it's such a big place that everybody kind of has their own little place they could go to, and there's so many barbers here, especially barbers of my peoples, Puerto Ricans, that we can all very much cut depending on what type of style you want. You want an old school style, which is more of this barbershop that I work in today, or you want more of a faster where you have Floyd's and you have the great clips and you have those type of barbershops, or you can get one of those fancy haircuts that they probably put some fancy haircuts. By fancy haircuts, I mean more of the color, they'll do the spikiness and that type of, yeah. You have that everywhere and in abundance. And then you have people that don't really want none of that. So you're gonna have to kind of make customers want some of those things. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as a 21-year-old, coming into the game, still young, fresh, not understanding a whole lot, not knowing a whole lot, but just trying to get to where I wanna be from here to 10 years, it's tough. It's very tough to try to be a young person trying to be picky, because realistically, you don't have that ability to be that way. You really don't have that. You don't have the tools to be that way by yourself. If you have a strong shoe and that's the people that you're hammering and hammering, let's say you're good at drop fades, which is a very difficult haircut for a lot of people, and you're the master of drop fades, and you mostly just want to do people with drop fades, hey, go ahead. That's how you get your clientele. Now, I would suggest Evolve because that's where I was at before. I wasn't great as a drop face, but that was mainly the best thing that I could possibly do apart from tapers. And I kind of put myself in a little square until somebody looked at me and said, hey, you got a lot of more things to do in this chair than request drop fades. And you know, there's a lot more to do in hair. There's a lot more to do in styles. There's a lot of people came and helped me out, and look at where I'm at today, to where I feel confident enough to put a video out, not on what I know, but in what I know now, to be the answer of how to get better from today on. And that's really what I wanted to push today. I just wanted to push positivity. I wanted to say congratulations to everybody graduating barber school. Congratulations to everybody graduating cosmetology. I appreciate everybody coming out into the industry. We're making it better. I love that we're all having a little flavor, a little bit of different styles. We're all coming from different lifestyles, different places, different views. I love that we all can come together in this little beautiful group that we call barbering and make a community out of it. I love that this is really the way that life is going to turn out for us as artists, that we look at more as artists. I like that we're a lot more younger nowadays. We don't wait till we're 25 anymore. I love that. I love that. So I want to say congratulations. I'm hoping everybody's doing good. I'm hoping everybody appreciates what I'm saying today. I'm hoping that I'm actually helping. I'm hoping that I don't look as cocky. I don't sound as anything, as arrogant, because realistically, I'm in the same position as all of y'all. I just know that I'm not scared to ask, and I think that's the key. That's really the key. The key is, are you willing to ask and are you willing to learn? After that, everything else is gravy, right? So I think that's the only thing that I have, apart from the people that I've seen around me, let's just say that, not necessarily in the barbershop that I work, but the other people that I've had conversations with, people that I've seen on the internet, stuff like that. There's a lot of kids and a lot of us kids right now, a lot of young adults, young people, whatever you want to call us. We got stuck in one section in the world, and it's because of a time in an industry where we all got really stuck doing drop fades, low fades, a lot of color enhancements, and there's still a lot of flaws in our game that we kind of have to switch around, because personally, that was me. I wasn't really putting color enhancements on people. I don't really put color enhancements on people, but I was hiding flaws. I was trying to do less. I wasn't doing justice to the person that's paying me. And even though I wasn't doing it intentionally, now that I know what not to do, I felt like I should pass it on so people could, you know, see if that's really what's happening. I'm hoping I'm being helpful. I'm hoping I'm not being disturbing. I'm really just trying to be a positive light in the industry, as I've been trying to do since I really got into the YouTube and into the business spectrum of everything. But hope you liked the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on my IG at jd.marson. And I hope y'all like the videos today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see y'all next time. Peace.